Anya, you got a minute? I need to talk to you about something.
Why, what do you want, Bruce? I'm having lunch with my friend right now.
I'm sorry, it won't take long. I hate to bug in when you're busy, but it's super important.
Make it quick. My luxury steak will be arriving any time now. It's hardly gonna taste good if it goes cold now, is it? Come on, out with it already. This better be good. Do you understand how valuable my time is?
Look, the thing is, I got fired from my job.
Excuse me?
Remember how I told you about my boss who hates my guts? The one who's had it in for me since day one? Seems like he didn't understand what kind of work we IT engineers actually do. He's been calling us all useless deadweights for months. It was mostly behind our backs until now. But last week, a new CEO stepped up. That new CEO decided the company needed to undergo some personnel reorganization in order to bring down cost. As part of that reorganization, my boss pitched the genius idea of laying off every single IT engineer because we were useless and don't contribute anything to the company. The new CEO, who I can only conclude is more tech illiterate than my grandma, believed his lies, resulting in every single IT engineer being laid off today, me included.
What? Are you telling me you're unemployed?
They told me to finalize all the handover paperwork this week, so I'll carry on working until the end of the month. But they said I won't be getting paid for any of it. Which means, yeah, starting today, I guess I'm unemployed.
This can't be happening. What the hell is going on?
Right? Seriously, what the hell's going on? I've always had a gut feeling their corporate practices were shady. I guess I just didn't think too much of it because it never affected me, until now.
No, I mean you! What the hell are you doing?
Huh?
You got fired from your job? How dare you! What do you plan on doing about it? What about the new luxury bag I bought yesterday? That cost me $1,500. Is it gonna pay for itself? What about the huge house we were gonna have built? Is it gonna build itself? What about the flights and accommodations for my holiday with my friends next month? Are they going to book themselves? What about cash withdrawals from your bank card? Are they gonna materialize out of goddamn thin air? Where am I gonna get my money from now? Do you seriously think it's acceptable to get fired?
Just try to be rational about this for a minute, Anya. I'm not gonna be making any money at all for a little while. At least until I find another job. So we're gonna have to tighten our belts a little. That means only spending on absolute necessities.
Oh my god, how dare you! This has got to be some kind of sick joke.
I'm sorry, babe, I really am. It's not all bad, though. There's a major shortage of IT engineers across several industries right now. I don't think it'll take me very long at all to find something else. All we have to do is survive in the meantime. It'd help so much if you got a part-time job, too. Can you do that for me, babe? Will you support me through this? I'm gonna find something new as quickly as I possibly can. I'm 100% committed. I know this is tough, but I just know that if we work as a team, we can get through it. We can get through anything. Let's work together and show the world what we're made of.
I want a divorce.
Huh?
I can't be married to some unemployed loser. Me? Get a part-time job? You must be out of your mind. I could never bring myself to do something so embarrassing. Can you imagine if my friends saw me working some supermarket job meant for poor people? I'd never live it down.
Wow, come on. Anya, really? Are you really being like this?
I don't want to tighten my belt like some destitute bum. I have a right to spend money, and I do not intend on relinquishing it. I have no interest in going out of my way to find a job where I'd probably have to work alongside high school dropouts to support my penniless wet noodle of a husband. I'd sooner divorce than downgrade my standard of living. I want a divorce, now.
What? Come on, you can't mean that, Anya. Seriously, you'd throw away our marriage over this? You've been spending my money like it grows on trees this whole time. You buy luxury bags, jewelry, you're always eating out with your friends, you go on holidays, and all on my dime. Then, the moment I get fired, you toss me out like some piece of garbage?
Duh, obviously. The only reason I married you in the first place was because you had a decent salary. Face it, I've always been out of your league. If you don't have any money, that leaves your value to me at precisely 0. Please tell me why any woman in her right mind would stay with you to deal with the mess you've made. What use is an ATM with no money in it?
Don't say things like that! I'm not an ATM. I'm a human being! We've been married for 3 years, damn it! Is that all I was to you this whole time? Did you never love me?
No. What I loved was spending your money. You're useless to me without that. You've outlived your use. I'm going to live with Mommy and Daddy. I'll leave the divorce papers on the table in the living room. You better make damn sure you hand them in ASAP. Goodbye.
Anya, please! Just give me one more chance, please! I'm begging you!
Bruce, pick up. This is urgent.
What is it? What do you want?
You don't have to speak to me like that. Look, I just bumped into one of your friends. She said you were climbing the corporate ladder and doing really well for yourself now. She said you were a manager? Your salary must be through the roof. Is it true you're living in the new luxury apartment block on Splendor Row? What on earth is going on, Bruce? I thought you got fired.
Whoopsie! Looks like I've been found out. Who was it? Who let the cat out of the bag?
Explain yourself. This isn't acceptable and you need to explain yourself at once.
I was sure it'd be at least a year before you found out. Oh well, there's no use hiding anymore. Alright, I confess. The thing is, I lied about everything.
Huh?
To tell you the truth, I was never unemployed. I was headhunted by one of my old co-workers from my last job.
Huh? What does that mean? Tell me!
It means I was never really unemployed at all. I lied. I mean, I did get fired, so I didn't lie about that bit. My boss really did call the IT engineers useless. And he really did fire us all in one fell swoop of blind idiocy. But coincidentally, on the very same day, I got an email from my old coworker inviting me to join his company. Apparently, he only got it up and running a few months back, but it was already growing at a mind-blowing pace, and their limited number of employees were struggling to keep up with demand. My skill set meant I required no training, so I was an immediate asset. And I was even offered a position as an IT manager, which meant my salary went up too. I didn't need to hear any more. I accepted immediately. Not only did I feel great about finally getting away from the boss whose hobby was treating me like crap, but it was great to be given the opportunity to work for my old coworker and friend at a company that would actually respect and appreciate me for my talent. It was a no-brainer based on that alone. But when I heard about how generously they were willing to pay me, I was over the moon. I'm surfing a wave of success and no one can bring me down.
But wait, this doesn't make any sense. Why did you tell me you got fired and were gonna be unemployed? You said you wouldn't be making money anymore. Why didn't you tell me you got headhunted by your friend?
I lied to you on purpose.
What? On purpose?
I intentionally told you I was unemployed, in the hope that you would divorce me. Honestly, though, I had no idea it'd be that easy.
What? You did it because you wanted to divorce me? Why? Weren't you happy? What did I do?
Because I was sick of you wasting all my money. We'd barely been married 5 minutes when you suddenly quit your job without telling me and decided you were going to be a stay-at-home housewife. You went out with your wannabe celeb friends every single day for luxury dinners and lunches. Or to the salon for manicures so expensive they could solve world hunger. You bought what seemed like the same goddamn jewelry and bags costing $1,500 a piece on a weekly basis. You went on more holidays than a Hollywood socialite. Basically, you did whatever the hell you wanted with my money, whenever you wanted, without any regard for how I might feel about it. You said you were going to be a stay-at-home housewife, but even then, you hired a housekeeper and left everything for her. Try putting yourself in my shoes for a moment. What's the point of having a wife like that?
It wasn't my fault. What was I supposed to do? All my friends' husbands are celebs who make over $100K a year. A woman has to keep up with the Joneses. What would you have me do? Be ostracized? Ugh, why am I even bothering? You can never understand.
That's right, I don't. I warned you countless times to stop wasting my money. I may as well have been speaking to a brick wall. You barely even acknowledged me, let alone had any intention of curbing your reckless habits. Which is why I thought it'd be useless to raise the issue of divorce since you'd only have ignored that too. I figured my only option was to scheme my way out. Thinking about it logically, I came to the conclusion that if my only value to you was my wallet, that if my wallet disappeared, you'd be more than happy to divorce me, and we probably wouldn't even fight over it. Man, did I hit the bullseye! It was a little embarrassing at the time, but I thought my whole beg like a clingy, desperate loser act at the end was worthy of an Oscar. Maybe I should take up acting as a side hustle.
Wait, this means that basically you tricked me? You lied, schemed, and contrived your way into a divorce.
To be completely honest, yes. Yes, that's exactly what I did. And now that we're divorced, I'm finally free! I no longer have to deal with you. I no longer have to deal with my abusive jerk of a boss. I get to work at a company where I'm valued and respected, and in a higher position to boot. No longer having to deal with your parasitic behavior means I get to spend every cent of my salary myself. Now I'm living a life carefree comfort in my luxury apartment with my adorably cute cat. I'm having the time of my life. Things have genuinely never been better, and I'm so happy.
Bruce, please. Listen, honey, I've been doing some thinking, and I think that maybe I misunderstood you.
Excuse me?
Well, now that you mention it, you are really hardworking and good at your job. Anyone who could find a new job so immediately after getting fired must be super smart and talented. I'm really proud of you for all you've done, honey. I was so shocked when you told me you got fired that I just couldn't think straight. I don't know what came over me when I said all those things. It was just the stress and worry talking. I never meant any of it. I'm really sorry. I regret divorcing you, babe. It was the biggest mistake of my life. What do you say? Shall we give it another shot? Let's get remarried.
You've got to be kidding me. Why? No way! Why would I do that? Who voluntarily reinfects themselves after getting rid of a parasite? I would literally have to be insane to even consider remarrying you.
Look, Bruce, the thing is, something happened. I did initially move back in with my folks, but my dad had a stroke last month. There was no danger to his life, but we were told he would need constant care for the foreseeable future. I thought Mom would try forcing me to be his carer because I don't have a job. So I did what anyone would do and escaped in the night while they slept. I'm staying at a hotel for the time being, but it won't be long before the money dries up completely. That's why I'm begging you, Bruce, please, let's give us another shot.
Absolutely not. You're clearly only interested in my money. Who in their right mind would oblige something so outlandish? Are you even aware of how ridiculous you are? We're divorced, and that's the end of it. We ain't getting back together. If there's even a shred of decency hidden away anywhere inside of you, you'll move back in with your parents and look after your poor dad.
No, I won't go back there. I don't want to be some old man's carer. That's disgusting. Bruce, please. I'll save up your money and do as much housework as possible this time, I swear. I can change. Let me prove it to you, baby. I'll do anything, I swear. Just take me in.
Not happening. I have no interest in associating with such a gold digger. You're vile. Anyway, I'd love to carry on chatting, but I have a super important meeting to make soon. It's with my cat. I have to tickle his belly and give him some milk. Bye-bye!
Please, wait, I'm begging you. Just one more chance, that's all I ask. Let me just show you how sorry I am. Bruce!
After using up the last of her savings on the hotel, Anya could no longer afford to stay there. She was dragged out kicking and screaming by security and had no choice but to go back and live with her parents. Apparently, in return for caring for her dad, they're allowing her to live with them. Very kind after her midnight vanishing act, don't you think? I heard from a friend that she looks about 10 years older and is leaving the house less and less these days. If I had to guess, I'd say it's due to a combination of the stress of not being used to caring for her aged father and no longer having any money of her own to spend. Oh yeah, by the way, as for the company that fired me, with no one left to carry out maintenance and testing on the servers, bugs and errors started popping up left, right, and center. And it got to the point where the company computers were basically unusable. Daily life at the office was plunged into chaos, and even regular employees were no longer able to do their jobs. I received countless messages from my old boss begging me to come back, but decided to exact some petty revenge by intentionally leaving them on red and answering their calls, but then hanging up after a few seconds. I'd like to say the same thing to both my old company and my ex-wife. The biggest fish is always the one that gets away.
Kim, I'm so sorry to message you so early in the morning. Our car was stolen this morning. The key we had hanging up by the door inside the house is also gone, so there's a high chance it was stolen. I just got done calling the police, but we're also asking everyone in the neighborhood for any information they might have. Please let me know if you know anything about this. Even if you think it's small or irrelevant, I'd be really grateful for anything you can tell me. Sorry again to bother you. Sorry, Olivia. My signal's bad. I only just checked my messages. Kim! I'm sorry to trouble you when you're busy. If you know anything about our car, I'd really appreciate it if you could tell us. The police are investigating, but we're trying to find out whatever we can from people in the neighborhood. Oh, your car? Well, about that, I borrowed it. What? I came over early this morning and borrowed your car. Forgive me for telling you after the fact, but I'll be borrowing it for the whole day. There's no need to trouble the police over this, so see to it that they go home, okay? Wait, what? You stole our car? Wait, how did you get the key? Don't be so dramatic. I didn't steal anything. I borrowed it. I noticed the key hanging on the wall yesterday when I came over to your place for coffee. So I borrowed while you were in the kitchen cleaning up. I'm gonna come and give it back to you this evening, so relax. What are you talking about? We need it. Oh, don't be silly. I'm only borrowing it for a little while. I always did have a soft spot for your luxury sports car. Oh, I got a little excited every time I saw it parked up in the drive. I wanted to see what driving it was like. Just once, to feel the roar of the engine, the wind in my hair. Ah, thanks so much for lending me it. I'm going for another drive now. I didn't lend you it. You come and give it back right now. That's my husband's car, and it's very important to him. Plus, you're not even legally allowed to drive it without your name on the insurance. You have no idea how much trouble you've put us in. Oh, please, just give it back. Stop being such a tightwad. It's always me with you. You have 2 cars anyway. What's the problem with me borrowing one for a little while? I'm a single mother on welfare. I don't even have 1 car. And there you are with 2 parked up in your drive. Neville's having the time of his life being in such a cool car. Neville's in the car with you? But it doesn't have a child seat. If you don't have a car, that means you don't have a child seat of your own, right? Why is Neville in there with you? Do you at least have him strapped in properly? He's fine without a child seat. He sat comfortably on my knee and having a great time. What's the harm in one day? That's dangerous. What are you thinking? What if you get into an accident? It's fine. Take a chill pill, sweetie. My boyfriend's the one driving. There's no way he'd let anything happen. You really do worry too much. It's no good for your health, you know. That's not the point. Please obey the traffic laws. Anyway, please just come back and give it back right now. But why? We went to the trouble of getting into the highway and finally just left the state. Even if you tell me to bring it back, it's not like I can just snap my fingers and teleport. You're on the highway with no child seat and a little boy on your knee? Where exactly do you plan on going in our car? Stop messing around. This isn't a joke, you know. Lighten up a little, sweetie. What's the harm? We're just borrowing it for a little while, and like I said, you'll get it back this evening. We even filled the tank up to about, halfway. So if you think about it, this is actually profitable for you. You should be thanking me. No. No. Bring it back now, Kim, please. You're such a whiner. I told you it was fine, didn't I? Oh, you're being a real buzzkill right now, you know. Stop trying to spoil our fun. Just stay out of our way. Looks like I've got no choice but to ignore you until we return it. Goodbye. What? Wait. Kim! Kim, are you okay? I saw you on the evening news. You really went and caused the mother of all accidents in our car. Shut up. This isn't the time for that. Neville? My little Neville? They said on the news he got flung out of the window by the impact of the crash. Miraculously, there's no danger to his life, but my God, that poor thing. Your son is seriously injured because of you. This isn't my fault. If that damn cop car hadn't suddenly turned its sirens on and started chasing us, if my boyfriend hadn't gotten scared of the cops and tried to swerve at the last minute to try to lose them, your boyfriend who was driving is at fault as well. But if you hadn't stolen our car in the first place, this never would have happened, would it? To think you'd suddenly take a left-hand drive car onto the highway for a long-distance drive. It's the most reckless thing I've ever heard of. What's more, you stole it to begin with and didn't even have a child seat, instead putting your little boy on your knee. You're the worst. Why would you say something so horrible? Aren't you going to say anything to try to make me feel better? My child's seriously injured, you know. I feel awful for Neville. He didn't deserve this at all. But to be honest, this is 100% your own fault. As for us, not only did we get our very expensive car stolen, but it got so messed up in the crash, it's now a write-off. All because you decided you were in the mood to commit theft today. Shut up! Shut up! You're the one who's at fault for having your car stolen. You're constantly showing up with that flashy sports car parked up in your drive when you know a single mother on welfare lives next door. You're so arrogant that I had no choice. Oh, it must be nice having to worry about money, huh? You probably look down on me and make fun of me behind my back. That's why I stole it. What the? So that's why you stole it? What a load of nonsense. Just because you're on welfare doesn't mean I look down on you. I've never thought anything of the sort, not even once. I mean, I've always treated you as a friend and neighbor, have I not? I invite you into our home for coffee, we go for walks with our kids. And where did the idea that we're rich come from? We're not as well off as you seem to think. My husband saved up like his life depended on it to be able to afford that car. Not only did you steal it, crash it, and have it written off, but you're not even gonna say sorry? Be quiet. I'm the victim here. It's your fault Neville's injured and in the hospital. If you didn't lend us the car, this never would have happened. You have a moral duty to make this right. Pay me compensation. You can say what you like, but the fact you stole and crashed our car is just that. A fact. And nothing you say can change that. You do plan on recompensing us for that, don't you? What? I obviously can't do that. That's impossible. I'm on welfare and barely have enough to get by as it is. Do you seriously think I can afford to pay for such an absurdly expensive car? This is what you get for being so extravagant. Anyway, Shouldn't the person responsible for the crash be the one who pays compensation? Which means he's the one who should be paying, not me. By he, I assume you mean your boyfriend? Well, it's true. From what I've researched, it does seem like he'll be the one responsible for covering the compensation for the car itself. That's right. So it has nothing to do with me. But surely you do realize you're obligated to pay me too, right? Because you're going to be arrested for theft? What? I said you're going to be arrested for theft. I already filed the police report. Which means the police should be knocking on your door any moment now. If it goes to court and you're found guilty, you'll be sent to jail for up to 10 years and receive a fine of up to $5,000 on top of the compensation you'll be paying us. What? What on earth? 10 years in jail? $5,000 compensation? Do you think I'm made of money? I can't pay that. No. In that case, I'll take you to court and take my money by force. Your savings, furniture, appliances, anything that can be used to pay back the money you owe me will be seized by the court. By hook or by crook, I will get my money. But if you do that, I won't be able to live anymore. You plan on completely ruining my life? All over one measly little car? Would you give it a rest already? You're like a broken record. I don't know how many times I need to repeat myself for you to understand. I did not lend you our car. You stole it. You're nothing more than a lowly thief. Reading through all the nonsense you sent me just now would have anyone think you were the world's biggest victim. Have you no sense of personal accountability? Do you have any intention whatsoever of apologizing to me and my husband, the actual victims of your crime? No, it wasn't like that, I swear. I really did think you were lending me it. I didn't think it'd come to this. I thought you'd just laugh it off and let us have it for the day. Oh, I thought you were kind. Don't be so ridiculous. You take me for some kind of saint? I'm a human being just like anyone else. If something important gets stolen from me, I get mad and I want to be repaid for the loss I've suffered. But if all my things are taken like you just threatened, I'll be in serious trouble. I won't be able to live anymore. It's true. I'm pretty sure I heard somewhere that if a welfare recipient gets arrested, their welfare gets cut off. If you end up doing hard time, I think you can reapply once you get out, though. If my welfare gets cut off now, I'll be in dire straits. Neville's supposed to be going to elementary school next year. That costs money. Olivia, I'm begging you. Please withdraw the police report. Please. Kim, you really are astonishingly selfish. You won't pay compensation. You won't take responsibility. You won't even accept being arrested. Do you really think you can get away with this? I won't be withdrawing the police report. The police will most likely be showing up at your house sometime soon. When they do, please at least have the decency to accept your arrest gracefully. Please just think about this. If I get arrested, what do you think will happen to Nozomu? Do you really want to separate a child from his mother? You monster! You demon! That's not my fault, is it? You did this. Anyway, I'm done speaking with you. I'll see you in court. Bye. After that, Kim and her boyfriend were marched away in handcuffs by the police. Kim, not knowing when to give up, was adamant she'd done nothing wrong, even during the trial, insisting it was her fault for letting it get stolen. Due to that, she was found guilty almost immediately and had to give up all her savings and sell all of her assets to cover the fine and compensation she owed me. Apparently, she told her boyfriend she borrowed the car from a friend in the neighborhood. He had no idea it was stolen. which I found out when he turned up at my house, got down on his knees, and apologized profusely. That's why I decided to settle on compensation with him out of court. Neville made a full recovery, and after being discharged from hospital, I heard his dad, Kim's ex-husband, took full custody of him. As for my husband, he was pretty depressed after having his beloved sports car stolen and written off like that. But he was ecstatic when I told him he could buy one with our compensation money. He's flicking through the pages of a car catalog with a big grin on his face as we speak.